Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back once again, and for the very first time, to the Thoughts and Crep Show, where today, as per usual, it's your host, Anjo, here with part 4 of Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, running on the Nintendo Switch. Hope you guys are all doing well. And I did indeed look into the stats part of the game. Stash power, essentially. I think that's literally the punch sound effect from Mario 64. Albeit probably compressed, but yeah, so the stash power for the bros, it basically controls, I was just wondering why there's shoes on the bottom left. The critical hit rate, and also apparently the prices that you pay at shops and stuff. So like you have higher stash power, you don't have to pay as much, I guess. It's kind of cool. They stores respect the stash, I suppose. So yeah, it's definitely worth putting bonus points into stash. But yeah, on this episode, continuing from last time, which it's actually been a bit, same recording day. I just took a break to like do some stuff. Yeah, you know, take care of a few things. And yeah, so the hammer guys, I think they were literally called Hammer Bros? I don't know. Anyway, they're gonna make me and Luigi some hammers. Apparently those ones on the wall aren't good enough. And we have to go up the mountain. I figured this out at the end of the previous episode because I was kind of lost for a bit. Because yeah, they finished the bridge. They were working on this ported bridge. So yeah, now we can go in this direction and apparently fight these bean dudes. Yeah, not really sure what restores our bro power, but they did say that the more you use these, the more, like, that's how you unlock other bro powers, apparently. So, considering how good these things are, I'm just gonna keep using them. Got him. Okay. I think it probably also depends on how well you execute the bro attacks. Maybe? Don't know. But I'm just gonna keep using them, so. Woo beans. Like John Woo? Oh, John Woo? Why is it not? There we go. Damn it. Ah, bastard. Yeah. I don't understand what, like, where the intended points are for the button inputs, but we'll get used to it. These guys are, don't want to use the term pushovers, but kind of pushovers. Hoo Hoo Mountain Trail to the right. So what's to the left? What is this? Haha. Very nice. Two Woo Beans. No idea what the Woo Beans are about, but oh yeah, I'm sure it'll become obvious at some point, probably. It's probably just, again, one of those things that the game just doesn't explain right away, but eventually it will. If you have faith in your spin, step into the wind. Oh. It's like the Minish Cap. Okie dokie. Oh, we got Drabins. Or no, not Drabins. Got him. Ow. Yeah, those guys are, kinda tricky. They literally are just called Dragons. Thought maybe they'd be something, you know, named slightly differently because, you know, they look slightly different. Wait, is that a... That's not the same level as a... No. Alright. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh my... Oh, great. Luke's gonna take damage. Or not. Got him. Ah. Get wrecked. Damn it. I hate when they do that. Yeah, how can you even tell which one they're going for? That looks like this would be something. See what I mean? There's like a little X and a circle on the ground. No idea what that's about. No? Dang. Oh, fucking A. Oh yeah, X is also... Oh, that's right, I forgot about that. X is also A. Yeah, see? So how they do the button mapping on the Switch. I don't know why they did it like this. It's kind of strange. It would make more sense to have Y also be A instead of, well, I mean, I kind of get it because, like, for one-to-one mapping, have A be A and B be B. So, like, having Y also be B doesn't really make very much sense. But it doesn't also, you know what I mean? It doesn't make much sense this way either. Because you don't need it, you don't need two B buttons, you know? Like, most people would be perfectly happy with, like, the Y and B roll, you know? So just make Y also A. Or just leave it as it is and also add Y as A, you know? Because Y isn't doing anything. You know, and there's plenty of games where, like Nintendo games even, where I've played where that is the mapping, where like A is A and B is B, and like X. Anyway, whatever. X is B and Y is A as well. So like whether it just works better. Like, but for this, it doesn't make as much sense. It really doesn't. So like if I needed to do a mapping that felt correct, I would just well, I can't add it to this. True. So B would stay B, I guess. And just make Y be A. Because there's only one A button. Anyway, I might mess around with that. I don't know. It's just that's one thing that I feel like Nintendo has put like the least amount of effort into in these Switch Online platforms. I know exactly what this is about. Can I talk to you or something? No? Oh, I see. Yep, there we go. Shh. The watering hole to the left? Now I'm less sure about this. Yeah, see, there's one here too. Oh, maybe That's for once I get the hammer. Yeah, that's probably what it is. The game is giving me options as to where to go. I don't like it. That's probably just a return point since the other one's like too high. Can I... Oh, I can't do this. Oh, because the water's not flowing. Oh, I see. Did this come after Minish Cap? I feel like it did, right? I'm curious. Let's go to game selection. Does it say... Yeah, because you get the... Yeah, details. There we go. Released in 2003. How are there 4 players for Superstar? Oh, for the multiplayer, the Mario Bros. Thing part of the game. Playtime. Oh, that's probably how much I've played it. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I was like, there's no way this is a 5.5 hour game. Forever an epic journey beyond the borders. Mushroom Kingdom, hilarious field. Next? Oh, because the synopsis is like, okay. Minish Cap was 2005. Oh. So Minish Cap wasn't even out yet. Huh. It's a pretty late Game Boy Advance game, right? Metroid Fusion was 2002, 2003, 2003, 2003, 2001. I think Super Circuit was actually a launch title, right? I think the Game Boy Advance was released in either... Yeah, it might have been 2001 because I remember that was one thing that they thought was going to hurt Pokemon Gold and Silver and like Crystal, I believe. Because like Gold and Silver... No, Crystal came out after the Game Boy Advance was already out, I think. Yeah, because Gold and Silver came out like at the beginning, it was either the end of 99 or the beginning of 2000. And Crystal came out like 6 months later. So it was probably late 2000, I think. That's my guess. Anyway. Oh, it's right before... Wait, does horizontal mean it's going for Mario? That seems consistent. Yeah. Doing like the Melo Mart dance, that's funny. So this was actually before Twilight Princess as well. So that was... When that came out, it came out on the Wii and the GameCube. Like, that wasn't later. And the Wii was like 2006, I think? 2005? think power is just power, like attack power. Yeah, let's do 1 for power. And then I'll probably just put points in the stash points for a while. So that's from that direction? That's just... okay. Okay, so I can't do anything else in this, from this way. Okay, so I have to go to the watering hole, right? Because, like, there wasn't any other direction to go. Not back here, no. Okay. This is pretty cool. It, like, requires some exploration. It's, like... it's a bit more open, it's a bit more challenging to the player. Like, it's good. Like, that's one thing... overhydration, yeah, I know. Yeah, uh-huh. Alright, so we can't go anywhere else on this, so I guess I have to do this part first. The fuck? How does that make any sense? Wait, how do I even get... oh, the ledge right next to it. Okay, never mind. I feel it. There we go. Yeah, having X also be B. Because, yeah, I'm playing on a Genesis pad right now, to be honest. So, like, the 6 face buttons, like A, B, and C are a little bit larger than X, Y, and Z. And, like, it's not... it's a slightly different layout. And for this one, the 8-bit M30, at least the 2.4 gigahertz edition, like, it automatically has... which one is it? It's L and R? Z... yeah, Z and C. Or Z and Chud. Are L and R by default, and then L and R, the actual shoulders, is ZL and ZR, which I hate that, so I swap it so that L and R are actually L and R, and then ZL and ZR are Z and C. So anyway, the default, like, position when you grip the controller is like the middle out of the 6 face buttons, so B and Y, which is very convenient for a lot of games. Again, even Nintendo games, they have the B and Y roll. However, on Game Boy Advance, it's actually A and X, like I was saying earlier with the mapping. Or if you're used to, like, the side-by-side, the horizontal, where you're actually sliding your thumb to the left and right, just doing A and B, like A and B. And to some people that may feel just, like, totally wrong, but if you played a lot of Game Boy stuff on original hardware, it should feel very familiar. Personally, I did. So, like, yeah, in my opinion, it feels right. But at the same time, it's not the most convenient. Especially for, like, games like this, where you actually need to be using both buttons simultaneously sometimes. Whoops. Like, if you want to have both of the bros jump at the same time. So, like, pressing A and B together actually feels better than A and X together, just because it's more out of the way. You kind of have to change your grip a bit. But with A and B, you can kind of just fat thumb it. So... But anyway, in a previous episode I was talking about how I was getting some like missed inputs. This is a regular one, yeah, okay. Which is not great. And I haven't cleaned this controller yet, but I was thinking about doing that after I'm done recording today. Because it does take quite some time, and then you know, have to let all the components dry before reassembling it, of course. So like for this one, oh my goodness. Yeah, like I was going at a very steady pace, alternating, but it was either the emulator or the controller, and I have a feeling it's the controller, where it just wasn't doing it, you know. But it's been a while. I'm sure it's because like some gunk is in there. I just need to like clean out this fucking controller. It's nasty. I mean, eventually I want to get another one of these too, just because like I really, really like these. And I use these for all kinds of shit, honestly. And especially for a 2.4 gigahertz controller, this thing is pretty baller. I kind of wanted to try out the Retrobit ones as well, like I have tried them out before. But there's a few things I like better about the 8BitDo ones, and that's partially... Long story short, it has the other buttons that you need on a Switch controller. So it still has like the home and the minus and even the capture button, which I don't think actually works. Nope. And it actually has both of the shoulder buttons, like, which is not the same as like the original Genesis design, but it's a lot better actually, because they're nice, big, and they have a very good tactile feel to them. So it's just a really well designed controller. Plus I think it's like $10 cheaper than the Retrobit one for some reason. I don't know why, but it's a pretty significant difference. Anyway, I like for Retrobit, their wired one was okay. I've heard the 2.4 gigahertz one is a little bit better. And to me, the major draw would be the Saturn design. Because the Sega Saturn pad, in my opinion, had like a better D-pad and slightly better ergonomics, but like the 8BitDo M30 is also like not exactly the same as the controller that it's paying homage to, and they did improve it in a few ways. So I don't know. A lot of it comes down to feel, a lot of it comes down to preference, and like they improved like the plastic quality as well on here, so it's more of a matte on it. It feels good in the hands. I like it a lot. Anyhow, but I don't know. I just really like, so I don't like Bluetooth controllers. For the most part, I don't even like wireless. But 2.4 gigahertz wireless, like if it has a good battery life and like, you know, of course low latency, I'm a fan of that. And for like this controller, there's no perceivable latency, like at all. Just really nice. There's a few things about it I'm not the biggest fan of, but for the price point, it's a fantastic controller. What was I doing? Oh, right. Should I heal Luigi? Oh, I can still jump when I'm making it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know when his turn is gonna be. He's probably gonna get a turn right after me, but... Oh, speaking of things that are kind of nitpicky, but I don't know, maybe you guys have a preference on this? This game is very bright. I just remembered, like, what I'm looking at is not the same as what you guys are looking at, because I'm capturing the raw video footage, which a lot of Game Boy Advance games are where the graphics were designed for the screen of the original Game Boy Advance. I've talked about this before. Yeah, basically they made them overly bright and vibrant and saturated to accommodate for the now, by today's standards, very shitty LCD screen of that OG Game Boy Advance. I'm just gonna go with power. Luigi's kind of falling behind there. Did I see a +5 on there? Holy shit, that would be great. What? How did that not count? Yeah, it seems like horizontal is always Mario and like the vertical spin is always Luigi. Mario? Yep. Oh, I see. It was a little bit early. Gotcha. I get 2 mushrooms for that? You can use items outside of battle, right? Yeah, of course. Alright. Wait, which way did I come from? Was it this way? Yeah. Oh, that's where the wind thing is gonna be. Oh, okay. Got it. But yeah. What was I gonna say about the thing? Oh yeah, and definitely for games that utilize a lot of diagonal inputs, for like specifically D-pads and whatnot. Bullshit. Whatever. Yeah, the Genesis and Saturn controller, like, D-pad is just, like, my favorite of all time. Like, of course, there's, like, many modern takes on that, like, D-pad design, but I personally think it's, like, the best one, which is why it's been, like, reworked so many times. Is that a dry bones? What the fuck is this? Oh, they just look different on the... okay. Yeah, seems very consistent. Nice. Like, the Mario just like full of water is so funny to me. It's a very comical game. That's one reason I really love it, is because even though it wasn't intelligent systems, like, they still definitely tried to capture that same, like, humor and design approach that Paper Mario had, and, like, to a lesser extent the Super Mario RPG, but it's I think this game definitely helps cement that. Like, they knew how they wanted to do this, like, spin-off series, like, quite early. It just kind of sucks because I think I have to wait. No. There we go. I might be able to just, like, go around this thing. Nice. I thought that'd be something a bit more special, but it's all good. Why does this ledge look like strange? Oh, I know where this is. Yeah. This is that area I went to and I was like, huh, that must be a return path. Yep. Yeah, so yeah, it's not exact. You can punch it a little bit early on that one. Oh, right. It's unfortunate. Sorry, got distracted. Because after, yeah, Thousand Year Door, they kind of changed the style of game that, like, Paper Mario was. And in a sense, like, guess Mario and Luigi was maybe it was an intentional transition that they wanted to do. It was probably just a sales numbers thing, because, like, honestly, what do we get? Okay, we're almost, yeah, we're pretty much out of time. Like, I'm fairly certain. I don't have the numbers right in front of me right now, but I'm fairly certain this game sold a lot better than Thousand Year Door, as, like, as wrong as that sounds, like, to me, because, like, the difference in quality is, like, granted, I'm comparing a GameCube game to a Game Boy Advance game. Like, it's not a fair comparison, really. Like, with the limitations they had, oh my goodness, they did an incredible job with this game. But, like, the Game Boy Advance sold way better than the GameCube. But, I don't even have to have the numbers in front of me. so much better. Like, especially because, like, you had, what, the original Game Boy Advance, like, the Game Boy Advance SP, the DS, up until the Lite, I think, played Game Boy Advance games. Like, it was a big deal. And there was a lot of games on Game Boy Advance that sold just stupid well. Just really, really well. And then some great games that didn't sell as well, but were still, like, on the Game Boy Advance, you know? Like, nobody else dominated the handheld market like Nintendo. Like, really ever, honestly. Like, yeah, no, really, like, going back to the Game & Watch, like, the OG, yeah. And then eventually with the Game Boy, and the Color, and then the Game Boy Advance, and the DS, and the 3DS, and now with the Switch. Like, they just dominate in the handheld market. That's what they do. And, it seemed like being on a Nintendo handheld just made it I guess more successful than the console counterpart, which in a lot of ways makes sense. That when the Game Boy Advance came around, they tried all kinds of stuff to really make it, except for the Game Boy Camera Advance, that would seem like a stupid missed opportunity. But yeah, they did the e-reader, those like videos. You could buy like actual episodes of certain shows on the Game Boy Advance. Like, they were compressed as shit, but they were still like full episodes of like that you could watch on your Game Boy Advance. Granted, it was mostly like younger programming and stuff, like Saturday morning cartoon kind of thing. But yeah, it would not surprise me if that's what actually happened, where they just looked at the numbers and saw, I was like, oh wow, these Mario and Luigi games on the handhelds are selling like really well. We'll do that style of game over there, and then, you know, with the Paper Mario series, we'll like try a bunch of different stuff. Which, sure, I get it. In a sense, like, you don't want something to, you don't want to do the same thing too many times to where it becomes stale, I guess. But at the same time, you don't want to deviate too far from like what made games so appealing. Sorry, I'm just like going off on a tangent here. This has like very little bearing on anything. But yeah, it's it was kind of an era, I guess. Like, and like, granted, I'm not, you know, the most familiar with the Mario and Luigi games. I think I've only beaten this one. And there's, like, after Thousand Year Door, like, I didn't really play many of the Paper Mario games. I have Super Paper Mario for the Wii, But like Color Splash I don't have, and Origami King I don't care, and I don't care to pick it up. Sticker Star I never played, and just when they change a bunch of stuff, if you lose your customer's interest with one entry in something, it's very unlikely you're going to get their business back. Like, it's not... For example, a lot of people that saw... What was it? And this will be the last thing and we'll wrap up the episode. A lot of people that saw the preview tech demo for the GameCube Zelda that was like, looked more like Twilight Princess, but it was actually just like essentially a tech demo with like Link and Ganon fighting. People were wanting that for the next Zelda game. People would say like, oh dude, this looks incredible, like the GameCube era is gonna rule. And then we got Wind Waker. People are pissed. Like, lots of people did not buy the game. Lots of people were very upset, especially after seeing like Metroid Prime, and that was an example that people would bring up, be like, Wind Waker didn't have to go with this cel-shaded art style, like look at Metroid Prime, that game is like beautiful and like looks a lot more realistic. They could have done that with Zelda and like sold 1 billion copies, but no, they went with Wind Waker. And then years later, Wind Waker finally like sold, like did numbers. People came around on it and were like, wow, this game's actually really dope. But then, you know, it's kind of why they made Twilight Princess the way they did, because to like hopefully get some of the fans back that were like really mad about Wind Waker's art direction. And so that's when I fell out of fandom, I guess you would call it, with like Zelda. Because after I saw like Twilight Princess was such a by the numbers game, I just didn't care. I didn't even really want to play it. And then, you know, I did eventually, but I just didn't, like, and by play it, I mean like actually beat the game. Because I did try it, and I just didn't like it that much. And, but yeah, like I just didn't care for much of anything like 3D Zelda for a long time. Like, I still haven't played Skyward Sword more than the opening 5 minutes, or 10 minutes, or whatever. So yeah, it was one of those things where they didn't have to reinvent the wheel, but they wanted to, clearly. And they were, like, Breath of the Wild just, like, was a home run. It was a great, fantastic game. And they retained a lot of what made the original Zelda game, like, such a success. And, like, Link to the Past, and, like, it has these elements of, like, some of the earliest Zelda games, but, like, in a new way. Like, they modernized it in the best way possible. But anyway, that's gonna do it for today, guys. Sorry, a bit of a rant there. sometimes you rant, though. I did hard save, right? I think. Yeah. Save and continue, yes. This might actually be the last recording for this session for the day. But yeah, thank you all for being here. Plus, like, I like this track. This music is just like, it's really growing on me. I really like it. But yeah, thank you all for being here, guys. Greatly appreciate it. And of course, before we get going, a very special thank you going out to the current Farts and Crap Show members, which at the time of recording is Navalis Draconis. But before we do that, actually, that was the other thing I wanted to say real quick. On the next episode, I'll be experimenting a little bit, guys, with some color correction. Because on the Switch, online, for the Game Boy Advance stuff, they didn't include a color correction option, which I thought was odd. Because a lot, like Game Boy Advance emulators usually have that as like a setting or whatever, like various things, because in some games you really need it, or else like, yeah, it just doesn't look right at all. But yeah, on this one I just think it'd be a little easier to look at, because I forgot about it until like I was a few minutes in the recording, and then I like looked over and I was like, wow, that looks very different from what I'm looking at. It's like, oh yeah, I adjusted my screen so I can actually look at it for a period of time without my eyeballs killing me. So anyway, on the next episode I'll be experimenting with that, and let me know what you guys think on that. But yeah, channel members. Right now it's just Navalis Draconis, but if you want to be incredibly awesome, support the show a bit more directly, and get in on those membership benefits like Navalis Draconis, check out the join button down below. Tiers start at $3 a month. It's 10 cents a day, gets you into all of the basic stuff, including getting to vote on the series that get made here on this channel. But ultimately it's very helpful, and you know, if you just, you know, if you want to be extra generous, and so it helps, and it'd be very appreciated, but totally optional. But yeah, until next time, guys, take care, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.